Tonight, you will lie down, close your eyes, and vanish. For the next 8 hours, you will stop existing in any way that matters. You will not guard your body. You will not watch for danger. You will lie motionless in the dark, deaf and blind and helpless, and you will call this normal. But the real answer is far stranger than a tired body needing rest. Think about what sleep actually asks of you. Every night, a living creature that spent millions of years terrified of being eaten decides to switch itself off, in the open, in the dark. For a third of its entire life. If sleep were simply a mistake, evolution should have deleted it long ago. Predators do not wait politely for you to finish resting. So why did nature build something so dangerous into every animal on Earth? Here is the question that changes everything. What if sleep was not something your body fell into by accident, but something life invented on purpose? Start with a strange fact. Sleep is older than the brain. There are tiny creatures called hydra, simple tube-shaped animals with no brain at all, just a loose net of nerves. And in 2020, a team of researchers led by Taichi Ito in Japan showed that even these brainless animals fall into sleep-like states. They rest, they can be sleep-deprived, they recover. A creature with no mind still needs to power down. So sleep did not appear because brains got complicated. Sleep came first. The brain arrived later and was built on top of a habit life already had. That should stop you cold. You always assumed sleep exists to rest your thinking mind. But something was sleeping hundreds of millions of years before minds existed, which means sleep is not about thinking at all. It is about something deeper, something cellular, something almost chemical. So what is really happening while you disappear each night? For most of history, nobody knew sleep had any structure at all. It looked like a simple off switch. Then in 1953, at the University of Chicago, a physiologist named Nathaniel Kleitman and his student Eugene Asarinsky pointed a machine at sleeping people and watched their eyes, and the eyes moved. Fast, darting, frantic, behind closed lids. They had discovered REM sleep. The moment we learned that your sleeping brain is not off at all, it is roaring. Inside that darkness, your brain is more active in some regions than when you are awake. It is not resting, it is working. It is doing a job so important that your body is willing to go blind and defenseless to let it finish. What job could possibly be worth that risk? One answer comes from a scientist named Giulio Tononi, who studies sleep at the University of Wisconsin. His idea is deceptively simple. All day, while you are awake, your brain learns. Every sight, every sound, every thought builds new connections between your brain cells. But you cannot grow those connections forever. The brain would run out of room. It would overheat with noise. So at night, sleep does something ruthless and beautiful. It prunes. It quietly weakens the connections that do not matter and protects the ones that do. You wake up not with a fuller mind, but with a clearer one. Sleep is how your brain decides what to keep. And there is more. In 2013, a researcher named Maiken Nedergaard discovered something almost unbelievable. While you sleep, your brain physically opens up. The spaces between your brain cells widen, and fluid rushes through, washing out the waste your neurons produced all day, including the very proteins linked to Alzheimer's disease. Your brain has a cleaning system, and it only runs the night shift. It can only clean the house once you have left the room. Stop and feel the weight of that. The reason you cannot skip sleep is not laziness. It is that there is a room in your head that only gets cleaned while you are gone. Now here is the twist. If sleep is so valuable, you would expect every animal to sleep the same way. But they do not. And the differences are so extreme they almost break the whole story. Dolphins cannot afford to fully sleep because they would drown. So they sleep with one half of the brain at a time. One hemisphere sleeps while the other stays awake to surface and breathe. Half a brain shuts down while the other half keeps a body alive. Some birds do this in mid-flight, sleeping one eye at a time while crossing entire oceans. Then there are the animals that barely sleep at all. The neuroscientist Jerome Siegel at UCLA has spent years studying how sleep changes across the animal kingdom. He found that big brown bats sleep almost 20 hours a day, while some large animals get by on 2 or 3. Newborn elephants and their mothers, tracked in the wild, sometimes went nearly 2 days without sleep during dangerous journeys and survived. So sleep is not one fixed rule handed down from nature. It bends, it adapts. Each species negotiates its own private deal between the need to rest and the need to survive. Which tells you sleep was not a single invention, but a solution rewritten again and again, every time life found itself in a new kind of danger. And that brings the mystery back to you. Because you have made your own deal, and you may not like the terms. For nearly all of human history, when the sun went down, the day was over, firelight was weak, the night was long. Your ancestors slept when the world went dark, because there was nothing else to do. Their bodies were tuned to that rhythm across thousands of generations. Then you invented light. You invented screens. You invented a glowing rectangle that tells your ancient brain the sun has not set. And that brain, the same one that shares its sleep instinct with a brainless hydra in a pond, obeys. It stays alert. It holds off the night. The sleep scientist Matthew Walker has spent his career warning about what happens next. When you cut your sleep short, your brain cannot finish pruning. The night crew cannot finish cleaning. The learning does not lock in. And over years, the damage does not shout. It whispers. In your memory, in your mood, in your body's quiet defenses. You were handed an invention older than the brain itself, older than thought, older than fear. And you are the first creature in the history of life with the power to refuse it. So think again about what you do every night. You do not simply get tired and fall asleep. You accept an ancient offer that life first made hundreds of millions of years ago, in creatures with no eyes to close and no dreams to dream. An offer to power down, to clean, to sort, to survive. Every night you say yes, you are answering a question that is older than you can imagine. Tonight, you will lie down, close your eyes, and vanish. But now you know you are not disappearing at all. You are doing the oldest work life ever learned to do.